So we got some more information about a supposed PlayStation 5 Pro that is going to be coming in 2024, which is a little over a year and a half from now when this alleged date would come about. And a lot of people have a lot of different things to say about it, but I think that the Xbox fans are saying some different things about it as well. Now, for me personally, we heard Phil Spencer say that they weren't interested in doing a Xbox Series X Pro or anything like that. They said that's not what they're hearing from their fans. Their fans are more interested in the games themselves, which I have to be honest, I think, for me personally, is the right call. Right, and I know that there's going to be some hardcore Xbox fans that definitely don't want to see Sony get the power crown. But I have to say that right now, most developers that do multiplats tend to take a little bit more time with the PlayStation 5 as it is. So I don't really see much changing. You know, you're going to still see pretty much the same games across the board, very minor differences, if any at all. So again, getting into this, the PS5 Pro specs have emerged, and you know, there's mixed reactions across the board, to be honest with you. But you know, there is an obsession with 4K and now even 8K, and you know, it continues to kind of be the marketing gimmick of console manufacturers, which is why Sony is reportedly going ahead with a mid-gen refresh for the PlayStation 5. According to a report by Tom Henderson, who has a very reliable track record, mind you, when it comes to rumors of this nature, the company is planning the PS5 Pro for the holiday season of 2024, codenamed Trinity, quote unquote, because Sony has a real penchant for the Matrix references. This new hardware is supposed to double the raw power of the standard edition, targeting fluid 4K at 60 frames, gameplay, and even going for an upscale 8K 30 frames per second quality mode. Does anybody even know someone with an 8K TV? I don't know. To me, that sounds absolutely crazy. I could understand somewhat the 4K upgrades last generation when we got them, because there was a boom in affordable 4K TVs, right? You could just pick one up for, you know, $500 if you wanted to. I mean, it wouldn't be the best, but you were going to definitely have a better picture than you currently would with your 1080p TV. So, in addition to the extra pixels, PlayStation 5 Pro will apparently feature new ray tracing features as well. So the PS4 Pro arrived on the scene where most games were struggling to play well in the severely outdated architecture of the standard 8th gen consoles, which is again a good reason to do a mid-gen refresh. Think about that. The PS4 and the Xbox One came out in 2013, but they were 2010 hardware, right? It wasn't how it normally was when we got new hardware, where it was, you know, kind of top of the line for the time. We got some top stuff this time. So again, it does baffle me a little bit that Sony would try to come out with something new or a new console. But anyway, with the new PlayStation 5 and Series X amending the mistake of weaker consoles by incorporating the latest RDNA 2 architecture and giving devs as much as 5 times the raw power of their predecessors, a lot of fans don't think we need a PlayStation 5 Pro. And in fact, a lot of them took to Twitter, people saying there's no need for a PS5 Pro. The PS5 is powerful enough, and devs just have to better optimize their games. Besides, if there's one thing we've learned this past year, it all comes down to optimization, not more power. According to another person, they're making fun of the 8K stuff. Another one says, I'm not going to buy the PS5 Pro. I already got a PS5. I'm not going to go through the trouble to get this. This is going to be as hard to get as the PS5, and I'm not going to go through that again. If Sony does indeed release a PlayStation 5 Pro, does that mean that Microsoft is going to follow suit with an upgraded Xbox Series X? Assuming Nintendo will continue to do its own thing in the near future, that's going to leave devs with at least 6 platforms to optimize their games for, which would be a logistical nightmare. And don't get us started on the price tag for this. If the PS5 Pro is doubling the performance and giving you all the juicy visual fidelity options, then you expect the price to increase substantially. Besides, do we even need a Pro version? Most people, especially current customers, would argue against it, but then again, it's never really stopped corporations for trying to milk people for as much money as they probably can. So, according to this, the PS5 Pro is reportedly aiming for a November 2024 release date and is codenamed Project Trinity, already having demo events for it, 8K performance mode, quote unquote, accelerated ray tracing, improved FPS, better FPS stability performance at 4K resolution, also 18,000 MTS memory, 30 WGP workgroup processor. Majority of studios will receive development kits by late November of 2023, so people don't even have the actual dev kits yet. So realistically, only giving people a year to work with these dev kits seems a little bit strange to me. But a lot of people are talking, Xbox fans especially, because Microsoft doesn't seem to be in on this, right? They think, listen, Microsoft needs to come out with something to match it. I think, honestly, Microsoft, if they don't come out with something, and again, Phil said they're not interested in it right now, it doesn't mean that, they don't see the hype start coming up for this thing and then they don't decide to come out with something. Supposedly, this thing has only been in development for Sony since 2022, and it would come out in 2024. So, I mean, theoretically, Microsoft could do something like that. But hear me out on why I think that would be a mistake. And people that are saying Microsoft doesn't care about the consoles and blah, 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 that's nonsense. They came out with 2 consoles already at the start of the generation. Developers weren't taking full advantage of the Xbox Series X as it was. So, coming out with yet another new console. Who took advantage of the Xbox One X, by the way? Like, it was very few. I think Rockstar with Red Dead Redemption 2 was a shining example of a developer that took advantage of it, but most didn't. So I can't really fault Microsoft here. We don't know how the sales went for the One X, but I don't think that they were anything tremendous. We don't know the sales for the PS4 Pro, and I don't think they're anything tremendous. So, when you look at this from the outside looking in, my thought is this. If Sony is trying to come out with a mid-gen refresh in 2024, maybe jump on them in 2026 with a brand new console generation, right? Imagine this. Microsoft releases the Xbox Series Next in 2026, and they release it with the only next-gen version of Call of Duty, and, they got their first party going in full swing. I think that could be something to do, like a surprise attack on Sony, where, you can have something like this work out to your advantage, and the reason why it would work out to an advantage is because Microsoft would have Call of Duty as a first-party game, and you obviously would be the only one to have that next generation version to start with. So I think that all of a sudden right there leads to a great number of people adopting your platform and things like that. So we'll see how that kind of works for Microsoft. Like I said, anything could change. Also, I will say that even though Tom Henderson has a pretty good track record, he also said that Sony was going to be releasing I guess not so much a slim, but a redesigned PlayStation 5 with a detachable drive. So, I mean, we'll have to see, because, again, he said that was going to come out later this year, but Sony just announced the PlayStation 5 Spider-Man 2 bundle, and with the limited edition console and the side plates and stuff like that. So I don't know, I'm not sure. To me, it doesn't make sense to do a Pro because people had a hard enough trouble finding these. So I don't know what to exactly 100% think about this, but what I do know is a lot of Xbox fans are upset, and they think, Microsoft doesn't care about gaming or anything like that. They don't care about the console anymore. I think this couldn't be further from the truth. I think Microsoft definitely cares about the console, but they haven't even taken advantage of the Series X yet. And I don't think Sony's taken advantage of the PS5 yet, right? Most of their big games that they've released on the PS5 were cross-gen, right? So basically what these companies would be telling us is, in fact, that the first few years of the life of these consoles were all cross-gen, and by the time the real next-gen, quote-unquote, launches, they have to sell us another console, and regardless of the console, I mean, maybe it could be a $500 console, maybe $600, I don't know, but I think that people are probably a little bit wary of this at this particular time because so little use was made from it, you know what I mean? And Microsoft already released 2 consoles. If they release a third, I think we could really be, and we already have games that are suffering from poor optimization. I think we could see even further poor optimization. So this is crazy. Like I said, it's been over a month since Phil Spencer revealed that Microsoft doesn't have plans for a mid-gen refresh. Xbox hasn't received the feedback that would warrant such a refresh, with 2 SKUs already on the market on the Xbox side, and of course that feedback isn't at all surprising. According to Digital Foundry, the company had said during the Xbox Series S and X reveal that the Series X is already this generation's Xbox Pro offering, and that the company decided to launch it ahead of time But despite Xbox's stance on another console, where does it leave PlayStation? Well, again, looks like they want the PS5 Pro, and some people will probably buy it, but I think, you know, the majority of people don't care about it, and I think that that is something that, you know, some people are going to have a tough time with. Like, for me as an Xbox fan, I, you know, put up with the, oh, we got more power thing. You know, it's funny a little bit because you see the people that claim to not care about power when Xbox was powerful, and now all of a sudden they're hyping something more powerful. So yeah, it's silly, and it goes round and round and round. We'll see where it goes. Let me know what you think. Rack 'em up. I'm Crap Gamer, and this is Crap Gamer Reviews. Crap Gamer out.